Why is The Legend of Zelda so compelling? Well, there is a lot of things that can be the reason. Everyone has their own reasons, and it's all subjective. But I want to find out just why I keep coming back to the series. Why every time I see a Zelda game, I feel this sense of comfort and solace. Even when I think about this game, I get that feeling. Maybe the reasons that I will point out will be the same reasons you love this game. And that's just what this video is about. Just gushing and finding little things to like about this beloved franchise. Legend of Zelda's atmosphere is really something else. Every Zelda game has its own little vibe. Ocarina of Time has that feeling of growing up and loneliness, but also makes you feel like a hero. Majora's Mask is really creepy and gives that sense of dread and panic as the moon slowly starts coming down each day. Wind Waker gives that childlike wonder, nostalgia, and charm that really resonates with people, and including me. Breath of the Wild has that childlike wonder and feeling that you can go anywhere, but also has that feeling of dread like in Majora's Mask, where you have to go and conquer the 4 divine beasts to save Hyrule. But when you aren't in combat or worrying about an objective, it is extremely soothing to just roam around the giant world of Hyrule. These are just some examples of the atmosphere in a Zelda game. There is truly nothing like it. Legend of Zelda's music really makes that atmosphere that I was talking about shine. The extremely beautiful melodies that this franchise has is something that I haven't heard in a different game. Just hearing Ocarina of Time's menu theme pulls you into the world of Zelda and makes you want to play forever. My friend booted it up for the first time and he was just testing it to make sure it worked on the emulator. And just hearing the menu theme for a few seconds made him want to play. And that's the beauty of Zelda's music. It's not only Ocarina of Time though, every entry has its own unique and beautiful melodies, or reuses melodies from past games and fits them in perfectly. Like the Fairy Fountain theme, it has been reused countless times and for a reason. It is extremely beautiful and it's perfect for Zelda. It's used usually as the file select theme, and every game has its own unique take on the theme. That's actually my biggest gripe about Breath of the Wild. I absolutely love this game and its atmosphere, but it doesn't have a menu theme nor a file select theme. I get it's supposed to give that desolate feeling of the world, but that Fairy Fountain theme is so iconic, and every Zelda game had an iconic theme to it. Again, that's my biggest gripe. Music only plays when something is happening, which is unfortunate because Breath of the Wild has amazing music. But I do get it. It adds to the atmosphere, and I do like it for that. It does it in a fantastic way. But a part of me does really miss the constant amazing tracks playing at all times. There is actually a video that explains the sound design of Breath of the Wild, which you should totally go and watch if you haven't. I will leave a link in the description for the video if you're interested. And something that I almost forgot to mention about the music is the fact that in some of the games you have an instrument or instruments. Ocarina of Time has the iconic ocarina instrument, hence the name of the game. And the way that game utilizes the instrument is fantastic. Instead of making it feel like a chore to pull out the ocarina, it encourages you to use it, like using it to open certain pathways to get in somewhere. You can also use it just for fun. If you wiggle the joystick, you can change the pitch and basically make up melodies. In Majora's Mask, you have different instruments for different masks. It's a really cool feature that people have used to make really awesome covers and songs with. I can't think of another game that has a feature like this. Even if there is another game that has this kind of thing, The Legend of Zelda does it in such a unique way. Zelda's gameplay since A Link to the Past has always been great in my opinion. Sword fighting is always a ton of fun in a Zelda game. When I was playing through Ocarina of Time, I absolutely fell in love with the combat in that game. It is really basic and simple, but I think it feels great. Z-targeting an enemy and battling them is really satisfying. This goes for most of the series. Not only is the atmosphere great, but the combat in the Zelda franchise is awesome. In Breath of the Wild, the Great Plateau is probably the best tutorial section in any game. It teaches you every basic thing you should know. It teaches you combat, what shrines are, what your Sheikah Slate is and does, how to climb, using your environment to create paths, how to cook, temper management, and just shows you how big Hyrule really is in this game. And it doesn't feel like a tutorial either, you're just playing the actual game, all while the game teaches you things without it feeling like a chore. Most tutorials aren't fun to go through and you just want to play the game, but Breath of the Wild does the tutorial level literally perfectly. It lets you wander around and you don't feel constrained to a tutorial. You are technically stuck in a tutorial until you get the paraglider, but it really doesn't feel like that. The thing people usually complain about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is the removal of dungeons. And I get that, dungeons are a huge part of Zelda and basically is the whole game. But I actually really love the shrines. I thought I was going to hate the no dungeons, but I actually don't mind at all. It feels like a combination of Portal 2 and Zelda, which is literally a dream come true for me. Again, I get how people really don't like how Breath of the Wild isn't a true Zelda game, but I think it's great for what it is. In my opinion, it is in the top 3 Zelda games. Breath of the Wild and Ocarina of Time aren't the only games with great gameplay, obviously. Wind Waker has fantastic gameplay and I think is underappreciated. The sword fighting feels really nice and fluid. The way the game just looks and gives it that charm. The Wind Waker instrument is a really cool gimmick. The sailing can be annoying but also feels really adventurous. And the world just feels so big and open. It really isn't, but the way it makes it feel that way is truly amazing. The reason The Legend of Zelda even exists as a franchise stems from Shigeru Miyamoto's childhood, where he would go on hikes and just explore around his little town, and he wanted to bring that to life in a digital format. And in my opinion, he really succeeded. All of the Zelda games give that sense of curiosity and wonder. It encourages you to veer off the normal path and go on your own. Yes, most of the games are linear, but it doesn't have to only be linear. It rewards you for actually going out on your own. In Ocarina of Time, you can beat the game without getting Epona or ever even knowing about her. The horse you see in the main menu of the game. Yeah, you can just skip that. And that's what's great about exploration in a Zelda game. If you actually take the time to explore, you can find interesting secrets or helpful items to help you along your journey. And if you didn't, you would miss out on some of the game's interesting stuff. Like in Majora's Mask, that game is full of side quests, and if you only did the main quests, you would miss out on a lot of gameplay. And Breath of the Wild is where they really took Shigeru's original idea for Zelda and really made it bloom. This game is the definition of go wherever you please. There was a girl that made it 95 hours into the game before finding a tutorial shrine where it teaches you crucial movements like backflips, side hops, and flurry rushes.
You can charge attacks? How do I check how many hours I have in this game? 95 hours or more. 95 hours, Lincoln.
She veered off on her own path and completely skipped one of the tutorials. And you can get away with that. That is the beauty of exploration in a Zelda game. You aren't confined to one linear path, you just go wherever you think intrigues you the most in the moment. Eventually, you do have to go and do the main quest, but that's okay. The adventure has to come to an end at some point, right? The story in The Legend of Zelda sounds pretty simple. You're saving a princess. But the way it's told is truly beautiful. In Ocarina of Time, it's a coming-of-age story and the inevitability of growing up, and also giving that sense of nostalgia. Even if you didn't grow up with Ocarina of Time, I still feel like it can give you nostalgia in a way. Majora's Mask is about handling grief and loss, and also some psychological horror where you repeat the same 3-day cycle of tragedy to save the town. Some really heavy topics for a Nintendo game. And Wind Waker with its childlike wonder that I talked about earlier and its lighthearted theme and hopefulness. Like I said, the story is pretty simple, but it's told in a unique way every time. The timeline is confusing, but also keeps me compelled and coming back to the series. There is a reason for the hundreds of videos and theories about the story. I could keep going on and on, but there is seriously too much to cover, and that's awesome. This franchise will forever keep me compelled and interested, and I really hope I can see the day of a new Legend of Zelda game. If you thought the reasons I gave were good, or if you have other reasons why you cherish this game, then feel free to let me know. I would love to read your comments and reasons why you love this series as much as me. Anyway, I'm gonna go and play some more Breath of the Wild. Thanks for watching.